Hey, I'm RawX. Recently I've been asked how I managed to get recent subs, embers, host, follows, etc. onto my MixPlay board. And this tutorial is going to teach you how to do that. For this video, I'm expecting that you have basic knowledge on how to set up a MixPlay. If you have no idea where to start, I can definitely recommend the video by Jedi John, who's explaining how to set up the whole MixPlay board. If you don't have MixItUp already, I suggest you go to MixItupapp.com and download their application. MixItUp is a very powerful bot for Mixer, and it also allows you to create some really customized stuff for your MixPlay board. So head over to the website. In the top right corner you'll see the yellow download button. As soon as you click that, it'll take you to the bottom of the page where you can download the installer and install it on your PC. If you've never used MixItUp before, I recommend you go to the Wikipedia, which will explain how to get started. Alright, let's get into the actual tutorial. Head over to mixer.com/lab/interactive. Make sure that you're logged in with your Mixer account. And then you want to make sure you are on the MixPlay Projects tab. As soon as you're there, click the little plus up here to create a new project. I'm just going to call this one MixPlay Tut, and the game is going to be Other. As soon as you have that, click the save button, and it'll bring you over to this page. You don't have to fill out any information here, we just want to head over to the Build tab at the top. Here you'll see three different areas. You have the Scenes area, Controls, and Grid. Scenes is if you have multiple MixPlay scenes. It could be a scene that has all of your different social links. It could be a scene with funny sounds. And then you'll have your viewers navigate between those different scenes. We want to stick to default right now. Controls is the actual buttons, text, and all the stuff that is displayed on your actual board. And Grid is where you design the board for both mobile, for tablets, and for desktops. We want to create four different buttons here. We want to create the Ember button. We want to create the Host button, Sub, and Follow. Now these buttons have a red mark next to them. That is because we haven't edited the actual text of the button right now. So I'll just type in no embers today, ! And copy this text. Go to the next button, and that is going to be no hosts. So this text is going to be displayed on the button until somebody actually hosts, drops embers, subscribes, or follows. So we're going to add this text here. Good. Now that we have the buttons, we can actually drag them in onto the board. And we're just going to do that real quick. I just want to make sure that I have them at the right width. So I'm going to be counting here. And that looks like a 4x12. So I'll be putting these four buttons right next to each other. I'm just using the other button to easily make it the same width for all of the four buttons. As soon as I have this, I can save it, and we don't need to do anything else here right now. I've just created a placeholder button real quick, which I named Spacer. The reason for doing this is that I can then put this button right here to see that it fits on the left hand side of all my four buttons, and it also fits on the right hand side of my four buttons, which means I know that these are absolutely centered. As soon as you've used the spacer, you can just go up here and delete it again, and then you have the ready board. We're now ready to head over to MixItUp. Before you do that, make sure you click the save button and get the interactive version saved at the bottom. Then you can head over to MixItUp and click the refresh button at the top of the page. Once you've done that, you want to find the board that you just created and open it up. You'll now see the four buttons that we just created on the other board. These buttons are not supposed to be doing anything, because we're going to be controlling these with the event list. The only thing we want these buttons to do is give your viewers a message once they click on them, because they're going to click on them. So you want to go in and add a command, and add a advanced command just make a chat message, set the spark cost to 0, and you want to just type in drop Embers to have your name displayed here. I'm gonna go ahead and just copy this because I need this for all the other buttons as well. I want to set it to a whisper, and I want to set a cooldown of 10 on this so people don't spam it, and yeah, just so people don't spam it. As soon as you have that, you save this button. You go in and you create another one for the follow, and once again you set it to a whisper, and then you can just go ahead and type follow to have your name displayed here. Again, set a cooldown for it, and just continue this for the other rest of the buttons. Now that we've done this, we want to head over to the events part of MixItUp. In here, you want to find channel followed, channel hosted, channel subscribed if you are a partner, and mixer channel embers spent. These are the 4 events we're going to be working with. To start off with the follow, you will notice that I already have things. This is what I use for my own channel, but I'm going to be recreating this just for the tutorial purpose. So you're going to be creating a MixPlay action on this event, and you want to make sure you choose update control. The control is the button. So if you head back to the dev lab, you will see that right here it says controls, and these are the control names and the control IDs. So this is important to keep in mind. Now if you head back to MixItUp, you'll see that the control ID for the follow is just follow, because that is what we have on the other side over here. So the control ID is going to be follow on both MixItUp and on the dev lab. You want to change the text of the button, and you want to change it to the person who actually followed. So that's going to be the target username. So that is the command you want to put in, or the identifier you want to put in here to have it actually update this button. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this again here. It's the same thing you want to do for subscriber and for host. The only thing that's different here is the embers. So let's go down to the mixer channel embers spent. What you want to do here, I've already created it. It's the same as before. You make an update control. Here the control ID is embers, or whatever you put in the control ID on the dev lab page. So it's ember here, but this is because this is for the test board. But if I wanted this to match, I could just change this to embers. Now again, you set it to text, but this time we want to have both target username, and we also want to have $emberamount in a parenthesis. This will make it so that it shows who actually spent the embers and also the amount of embers they spent. Right now, the buttons we've created doesn't have any background images on it, which means it's gonna be a plain color with text behind it. I've created a few buttons in Photoshop, and I'm sharing them with all of you guys. I'm going to be sharing this link in the description, so you can actually go in and copy these images right here and put them onto your MixPlay board. So for the embers and for all the images, you basically just want to copy the image address. Then you go into the dev lab, and down here where it says background image, you paste in the URL. So you can continue to do that for every single button that you create. Gonna add in the host here. We get the sub, and we have the follow. So as soon as I opened up this page here, I actually realized that I did not add the recent tip to the board. So I feel like we're gonna do that right now real quick. So I'm just gonna go with a button called tip, add this, and type no tips today, and might as well copy the image URL right away as well. Good. Now I just want to drag this in here real quick, and we're gonna make sure that we have the same width of this one and try to see if we can get this somewhat centered as well. Okay, they are now magically centered. Now I just want to make sure I save this again. Head back to MixItUp. Go into my MixPlay. You'll still see only the 4 buttons here. Now if I refresh and I go back to the thing, you'll see that I now have the newly created tip. We'll just do this real quick again. Now we want to set up the tip MixPlay button under the events. I use both Streamlabs and Stream Elements. In here you want to go in, create a MixPlay button. Once again use the update control. The control ID on this one was tip. We want to be updating the text, and for this one we want to use target username with donation amount. So the $sign shows that it is a identifier, and then you want to put in the right string of text. If you're ever in doubt what you should be using here, clicking the question mark right here will take you to the page where you can find all of the special identifiers. So for this one, for example, we are using a donation identifier, which is right here, and you'll see that we are using this one, donation amount. You can use all of these different identifiers from the site to do a million different things. The last thing you need to do now is just to turn your MixPlay board on. As soon as you do that, what you should be seeing is this. This should be visible just below your stream, and as soon as somebody drops Embers, a donation, tip, host, sub, follow, it should change and look something a little bit like this. If you found this tutorial useful, please drop a comment below. If there's something that's not right, something I missed, I mean, I am a derpy kind of guy, let me know in the comments. I will probably also make a very short to the bone tutorial of this, where I basically just say do this, do that, do this, do that, to have it finished within a couple of minutes. I felt like this was a little bit of a longer tutorial to kind of explain it more in depth, if you can say it that way. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day.